The Dobbs 5-part test for analyzing precedent and using stare decisis is as follows. 1 of 5. The nature of the court's error. The court states that unconstitutional laws must be overturned, no matter what, and that case's holding is unconstitutional. Furthermore, they discuss how some unconstitutional laws have a greater impact than others. Like the infamous decision in Plessy v. Ferguson, Roe was also egregiously wrong and on a collision course with the Constitution from the day it was decided. Roe's constitutional analysis was far outside the bounds of any reasonable interpretation of the various constitutional provisions to which it vaguely pointed. Dobbs majority. 2 of 5. What was the quality of reasoning used in the case that sets the precedent? Roe was incorrectly decided on weak grounds. Roe found that the Constitution unconditionally gave a right to abortion, but did not base this finding on text, history, or precedent. Then the majority went off on the Roe court. Roe relied on an erroneous historical narrative. It devoted great attention to and presumably relied on matters that have no bearing on the meaning of the Constitution. It disregarded the fundamental difference between the precedents on which it relied and the question before the court. It concocted an elaborate set of rules, with different restrictions for each trimester of pregnancy, but it did not explain how this veritable code could be teased out of anything in the Constitution, the history of abortion laws, prior precedent, or any other cited source, and its most important rule, that states cannot protect fetal life prior to viability, was never raised by any. 3 of 5. Does the new law have a workability? Is it workable? Means whether the new law can be understood and applied in a consistent and predictable manner. Casey was a case which reaffirmed Roe and stated laws could not put an undue burden on a woman seeking abortion. Case's undue burden test has scored poorly on the workability scale. The Casey plurality tried to put meaning into the undue burden test by setting out 3 subsidiary rules, but these rules created their own problems. The court in Dobbs mostly cited vagueness and ambiguity, specifically about the meaning of the words undue burden, substantial, obstacle. What do these words and phrases mean? The court says it is up for debate, and therefore too subjective of a criteria, or in other words unworkable. 4 of 5. What is the effect on other areas of law? The majority, again, really takes it hard to the Roe and Casey courts here. Roe and Casey have led to the distortion of many important but unrelated legal doctrines, and that effect provides further support for overruling those decisions. The court's abortion cases have diluted the strict standard for facial constitutional challenges. They have ignored the court's third-party standing doctrine. They have disregarded standard res judicata principles. They have flouted the ordinary rules on the severability of unconstitutional provisions, as well as the rule that statutes should be read where possible to avoid unconstitutionality. And they have distorted First Amendment doctrines. 5 of 5. Reliance interests. Will overruling Roe and Casey will append substantial reliance interests. The court states reliance in the conventional and traditional sense means where advanced planning of great precision is most obviously a necessity. The Casey court said the following words which the majority in Dobbs used in favor of their own argument. Abortion is largely an unplanned activity, and reproductive planning could take virtually immediate account of any sudden restoration of state authority to ban abortions. The Casey Court instead used what the majority in Dobbs called intangible reliance that would require generalized assertions about the national psyche, which is not possible for the court to do and therefore is not in their purview.